If it gets vocal, I'll throw him over.
All right, that's always a great way to start a chat. Geoff Johnson here down on the beach on Cox Bay. We're talking to Sam Lamiroy. I've got that right.
That's right.
Who, according to the internet, I was doing a little research this morning, England's top surfer, Britain's top surfer.
I'd feel more comfortable saying one of the top surfers in the UK.
surfers.
You know, you don't want to take the mantle quite like that.
All right,
There's a few good guys, but
well,
I'll mix it with them.
Well, that's nice of you to say so. You got kind of, I guess, an interesting perspective on this event because I know Britain isn't the first place I think of when I think of surfing, and I'm sure Canada isn't. How has the surfing culture in the UK dealt with, I guess, kind of what we're trying to deal with to increase the publicity and the awareness of the sport?
Well, I mean, to be honest, there's quite a developed surf scene in the UK, and you know, it's been a popular sport there for quite some time, especially in the southwest, the kind of Cornwall and Devon areas. But it's a similar climate to here, you know, and I guess a big factor in the development of the sport is the advent of the high quality wetsuits, because the water's cold pretty much year round. You know, even in the summer you're not really out there in shorts, so if you want to go surfing you need to be in a wetsuit, and these days the suits are so good, you know, and I don't want to name names, but you know, the likes of O'Neill, and they just make fantastic suits which allow people to surf in more challenging climates like ours.
Don't they pay you to name names?
No, I'm completely impartial.
All right. Well, how have you enjoyed your visit here to Canada? Is this your first time surfing in Canada?
Absolutely. I mean, it's the first time I've been in Canada per se. And
did you ever think you were going to surf in Canada?
It was kind of on my radar. I'd started to see a few articles about surfing in Canada, and there's some fantastic looking waves. And just as a country, it's always been quite fascinating. You know, the wilderness of it and the nature, and I haven't been disappointed at all. You know, we came out here a week early. I'm here with my wife and my little 10-month-old boy, and we've actually the other day I almost used him as bear bait. And we were with a couple of lovely local people, Mark Fuller, who's organising the event, and his wife Andrea, and we went out and found some bears at a secret sort of location where they seem to gather, and you know, they thought we were a bit irresponsible, and I guess we were just a bit naive, but it was amazing. Just, you know, and on the drive up here we saw a bear on the side of the road, and it just blew us away, and the kind of the scale of it and the beauty of the landscape is absolutely stunning.
Well, I always thought it's marvelous to think that you know, over there you guys have a whole country crammed into space that to us is like, you know, a quarter of a province.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like that as well. That you sort of feel that you can breathe a little deeper here and stretch your arms a bit further, and it's an absolute joy. I love it.
All right. I'm sure you've seen your fair share of 6-star QS type events like this. Is there something special about this one? Something different? Yeah, I mean, it's the first one here. There's a lot of things like that. But for you, is there something that you're going to take away from this and think that kind of makes it stand out in any way?
I think aside from the kind of the phenomenal nature that surrounds it, and Canada as a land, I think the absolute key is the kind of the enthusiasm and the kindness of the people here. We've just been continuously blown away by how friendly everyone is, from the waiters and waitresses in the restaurants to just fellow surfers, and the reception and the welcome we've had has been quite astounding, and it's almost the lack of coolness or the lack of pretense from the people here. They seem, if they are excited about the event being here, and they show it and share it with you, which is so refreshing. You know, there's no pretense. It's just genuine stoke, I guess, as you call it as a surfer, and it's been just heartwarming, and I can't wait to come back.
All right. Well, one last little bit. You had your one heat. Was that yesterday that you surfed? And didn't fare too well. Ended up in fourth. Tough competition. You want to talk a little bit about how the heat went for you?
Well, I mean, I surfed. So that was my second heat.
Oh, it was.
I had one heat here at Cox Beach.
Sunday?
Yes, I believe it was Sunday, and I did it all right. Got a couple of good waves and got through that heat relatively easily. And then yesterday we had really difficult conditions at North Chestermans. It was kind of 2-3 foot, really bumpy, loads of wind, and I just made a tactical error. I paddled out in the wrong place and waited for waves that looked good in the previous heats.
Yeah,
Kind of disappeared.
Weren't there when the tide moved that little bit. Or...
Exactly. And I mean, to be honest, I had some great surfs in that heat as well. The likes of John Florence, who's, you know, it's a bit like the Kelly Slater of 20 years ago.
Yeah.
You know, he's a young kid, and I think a potential world champ. So it's, you know, I'm not embarrassed to lose to him, but I'm a little bit annoyed. I would have liked to have got through a few more heats, but there you go.
And you're in such a nice place, having such a good time. There's really nothing wrong with crashing out early because you got lots of other stuff to do.
Well, in actual fact, it looks like there's a big swell coming for Thursday, and there's a few little secret spots that I can. Now that I'm liberated from the shackles of competition, I can maybe go and explore and get some good waves.
All right, well, there you go. If you are in the know, you might have your chance to surf with a world pro if you can find them sneaking around somewhere. Thanks for your time, Sam.
Absolute pleasure.
It was great talking to you.